I'm just a bit quiet on these issues because Obasanjo is an elder statesman.
Okay.
And like the Yorubas will say, but let me just let that be. Obasanjo has his perception about it. He sees Atiku as a corrupt person. I have it on good authority, and I stand to be corrected. When Obasanjo came out of prison, Atiku was one of those who went to him, and Atiku was the very first person who gave him 300 million. Then.
Oh, to support his...
Yes.
Yeah. To support him.
Yes, 300 million.
Jesus Christ.
IBB gave him 10 million naira. Atiku gave him 300 million. And that was the day he told Atiku, I'm going to make you my vice president. Because when Atiku said, we want you to contest, we have thought about it. Atiku had an opportunity to be president then. He said, no, let us try and plead with the Yoruba race. So if they sat together, Salami all of them, and said, who should we use? Okay, take Obasanjo out of prison, let us use him. And Obasanjo said he didn't have money. This same Atiku that is the corrupt brat that he is laughing about gave him 300 million then. So if Atiku had 300 million in 1980,
1999, 1998.
98, 97, 98. If he had 300 million and he wasn't in government, I want to say that.
So where did he get the 300 million?
Thank you very much. He's been working.
Working?
He's been working.
What and what? Because there's also the perception that he's an ex-custom officer. Maybe he has made all his money from custom.
Thank you very much. It's like asking me today that where did the Shubomibalu get his money from? People always have humble beginnings. Atiku wasn't brought up. He wasn't raised amongst, with affluence or riches. He started from the scratch. And that helped him build his business. Atiku is somebody who, I've told you, I said he's a shrewd businessman. Up until tomorrow, he's still working. When people didn't have a focus about Intels, about the communication outfit, he already had. Intels was formed in 1987. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Atiku has always had his focus long before anything. And so you don't, I don't understand it. When it was the third time bid, this same corrupt brats said no. Why should you use 12 years as president? Give another person an opportunity. He killed the third term bid.
So Atiku killed third term.
That's a known gist.
Okay, you also want to say that was one of his sins?
I think that was his greatest sin. So if because he says you cannot be a life president, somebody says it's corrupt, God will not forgive me, I don't want us to arrogate so much powers to ourselves. Ultimate powers belongs unto God. It is God that can make and mar. No single individual has that power. One thing I know about God is that when it is his set time, nothing can stop him. Yes. Atiku is corrupt.
Yes.
Sorry, which court of law has tried him and found him guilty? The EFCC has been there. There have been how many presidents after the Obasanjo regime? Has the EFCC ever called Atiku? When you say he's corrupt, please, what funds were given to him that he couldn't account for?
Well, the whole of...
This is somebody who had the economic blueprint, who had it from... And I have it on good authority that he presented this blueprint to PMB on the 9th. Yes, despite the fact that he was rigged out of his party's primaries, he was still actively involved. He still gave monies for the election. Atiku Abubakar is a humane being.
Humane?
He's very humane. He has a heart of gold. I keep telling you that he's somebody who believes in democracy. He says we have to keep deepening democracy. Not particularly because he's power drunk, not because he wants to be president at all costs, but because he knows there's a lot of things embedded on the inside of him. He has to bring it to the fore. He cannot continue to touch life in his small enclave. He wants to give Nigerians a new lease of life. And that's why for me, I am proudly an Atikuist. I believe in the Atiku nation. And that nation is going to take the fall.
You believe in an Atiku nation?
Atiku nation, yes.
Articulated nation?
In an Atiku nation. I am an Atikuist, yes. I am an Atikuist.
So what's the philosophy of Atiku?
The philosophy of being an Atikuist is believing in what it represents, and it is beyond political party. The TURAKI women, youths, mobilization group, the TURAKI Vanguard, is a movement. It's a movement that is recruiting people, mobilizing people, especially the youths and the women that have been sidelined. It's a movement that is saying, where he goes, we would go. Where he stands, we will stand. If all the political parties existing today refuses to give him tickets, we would stand and say, you know what? Form the People's Party. We would go with you. And believe in what you represent.
Are you sure majority of Nigerians are buying into your idea?
I'm telling you that a lot of Nigerians have bought into this idea. They are just being passive.
Passive?
Yes, a lot of them are just, sitting down on the fence, trying to see the trend. That's why I look at Aisha Al-Hassan and I give it to her. Coming out. I have come out. It's not dependent on what my party has said. This is somebody that I believe in. 2019, you have a governor who is APC, who you think can deliver, vote him. You have a senator who is PDP who can deliver, vote him. You have a House of Rep who is Labour Party and you think you can deliver, vote him. You have an assembly that is the Accord Party and you think you can deliver, vote him. Beyond party supremacy and party lines. Let us cut it out. It is about the person that is vying for that elected post. And as the Director General, I can give you facts and figures.
Okay.
I have been so amazed. If you go to my Facebook page, even on the TURAKI page, if people say, please, I want to join, how can I join? Read through. I have been so shocked. So shocked. I just finished the Southwest inauguration of the TURAKI Vanguard. And I can tell you figures of each state. On a daily basis, my head is just spinning. Is this man so loved? So this man is so loved. Even in places where we think it's going to be so difficult, you find the grassroots women, you find the youth coming out and saying, we believe in Atiku, we are proudly Atikuist.
But a lot of people also believe that people just want to take his money and maybe because they're hungry.
You see, that's the unfortunate thing. It's not about money this time. People's perception is changing. We are no longer fools. The world has become a global village. That woman who stays and sells fish somewhere, she has children who are internet compliant and who can show her the things that are happening. These people are listening. Who is talking about restructuring except him? No other person. Nobody is a fool. Nobody is a fool. Nobody is going to fool us. We're not carried away. We know what we're doing. And I can't believe it. I am so excited. I am so excited. On my personal Facebook page, people tell me every day, please, ma, how can I join? I want to join. And I say, what state are you in? They will say, Ondo Ekiti. It is a revolution that is just going.
Are you sure?
Fire. Oh, yes, I'm positive.
You're sure?
Oh, yeah, you can go to my... I'm not talking of things that are not facts and figures. I can let you into some things. You can go to my Facebook page. You can go to the TURAKI page. And you see the fire burning. I agree with you absolutely that young people should take over. But listen, the question is, can a young person write about now?
Can a young person write about now?
Yes, can a young person write about now?
You're talking of history?
Take over. No, I'm not talking of history.
Okay.
I'm asking a question.
Okay.
The way Nigerian politics is, how many can I stand up today? I'm not limiting myself. I believe that I'm going to be president of this nation someday. Yeah. But I'm saying that the terrain and the political terrain, the land, we're not ready yet as youth. The landmass, what it takes, what it entails to be president right now is not a child's play. And that's why I believe in an Atiku who wants to give us an opportunity, who wants to move us closer. You'll find out that after 2019 now, and he leaves, he would have given us an opportunity to be closer when he brings in youths into his government. The moment he picks somebody who is in my generation as a vice president, for example, or somebody who is in the next generation to me, he brings it closer. And then you have governors who are, like I told you, I said I'm very gender biased. We're encouraging over 10 females to come out across the country and vie for gubernatorial, slots. And I believe that we would have female governors in 2019. So, when he moves us, he moves the youth and he moves the women closer. It's only an Atiku that can set the ground for us as youths to take over. That's why for me as a youth, I'm saying I'm going with an Atiku, because I know Atiku will move me closer.
To power?
To power.
And to development?
To development, to total restructuring. There's something I say all the time. I said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. I'm proud of you as a woman, Alasan. I'm so proud of you. If today she's sacked, she told you that she believes in the will of Almighty Allah, maybe that is where Allah wants her to stop. But that does not stop her from standing behind what she believes in. If my party comes up today and says, Fatima, we are removing you from PDP, I will still go with an Atiku. I believe in Atiku. For me, I am a die-hard and an unrepentant Atikuist.
Now, let me ask you this question. Looking at the Atiku situation now, he just said, oh, I supported them in 2015, I gave them my money, but they sidelined me. Are you not seeing his aspiration as born out of...
Isn't that story synonymous with Ashiwaju and a lot of other people? Okay. Doesn't that story look very familiar?
I think so, yeah.
So coming from an article, we want to, attribute something to it. But that story has come from a lot of other people.
Okay.
So what it just tells us that it's a common phenomenon. Yes, it's a common thing. We're used to it. That's why we're coming out, and I'm saying that I've told you. I said I'm very gender sensitive. I'm highly gender biased. I'm coming out. The first thing we're doing is we're changing women's orientation. Women should not just be heard, we should be seen, be in the forefront. If you look at political situations and terrains, we're the ones that compose the songs that they sing. We're the ones that dances, behind them. We're the ones that follow them in the midnight campaign. We're the ones that speak to our children, come out and do posters for them. Yet, we're the one who is so difficult for them to just rise up and say, let this affirmative action be taken. I give it to Jonathan, to the former president, good luck Ebele Jonathan. He did so well. He gave us a closer shot to the 34%. It was so good. You look at his cabinet and we had over 10-15 women. That's not the scenario today. But today I'm sure that we have about four or five women.
But when you're not looking at the women in Jonathan's scenario, a name like Diziani Alison, how do you get
Thank you. A name like Diziani. I was waiting for you to say that. A name like Diziani Alison. Yeah. Which court has tried Diziani Alison? Which court has declared her guilty? You see all this Telemundo series, she returned 200 billion, 300 billion. Why are we going to borrow now to
call it
all that Telemundo series? Please, all these things are stories. Why are we going to have to borrow for our budgets? Maybe they've returned so much money. And they should throw it back in the economy and let's use it. We should leave these stories now. I said Nigerians are not bored, we are hungry.
Okay.
So we don't need these stories and side attractions, a Diziani, a this. When Obama took over, he didn't particularly meet a very good economy. He was not carried away by the glory of the past. He forged ahead. And he continued in the race to get America back to where it is. This government was so passionate during the electioneering period. I expected them to hit the ground flying. Not running, flying. I never envisaged that we'll be where we are today. So leave all these stories of Diziani and Jonathan and Patience Jonathan. We don't want the stories. We want, the country to move forward. 2019 is free. Anybody is free to contest. For me, I am a die-hard Atikuist, and I know that God willing, Atiku would be the next president of this nation, because I know that God has heard the cries of the masses. A lot of people are crying. There's so much gnashing of teeth. We're crying, we're praying on a daily basis, and we're saying, God, give us a man after your heart. And I want to believe that Atiku is after.
You think Atiku is after God's heart?
I don't think I know.
Oh, you know?
Yes.
Atiku Abubakar is the man after God's heart.
Oh yes.
And he can give a solution to the
I call him Akpogu Pote. You say that Atiku is part of the old order. I beg to disagree a bit. He's been around for a while, yes. But you see, I want to speak to us this morning. And honestly, I'm not being partial. I'm somebody who just says it the way it is. I believe in Atiku Abubakar. And the reason why I believe in him is because you look at all of the things that he represents. You look at his ideologies. You look at his values. You look at what he stands for. He's been talking about restructuring. You see a man who's had an economic team for over 15 years. Somebody who's never been president. He's had economic experts put together an economic team, that would lead this economy, this nation, out of our present state. I know that come 2019, I'm not going to be telling you that, oh, once it comes, dollar will be 2 naira. No, I am not one of those politicians who would campaign along that line. But I can reassure you that when he comes, everything that has been mad now, he would ensure that he makes them whole again. I know that about Atiku Abubakar. He's not coming to steal your money. He's not as corrupt as people have said. Some people have even said he cannot go to America. Somebody who cannot enter America, is he an American?
Yes, I forgot that.
Is Atiku an American? Is he not a Nigerian?
Yes.
He has a university that is affiliated to America. So when you say he's not, he cannot go into
sure
America.
They didn't ban him from America? Because
how can they ban him from America? You look at the Ali button. When you look at the Ali button, no.
They said there was a Potomac scandal.
No, when you look at the Ali button issue,
inside freezer of
there was no money that was accrued to him. His name was not mentioned. All of these things are stories. When people say, oh, Atiku is this, I say, Atiku, it just keeps recurring. There are a lot of stories that keep recurring, especially these days of the social media minutes. A lot of stories keep reoccurring. It doesn't mean that they are true. If you have something against Atiku Abubakar, please ask and allow us to explain to you.
So, do you mean that Atiku can go to America and come back?
Atiku can go to America. He goes to anywhere he wants to go to.
Okay, can you
in the world.
Okay, can you take us? Okay, like me now, can you just take us along on a trip to America and then we'll...
There's no reason why Atiku should not take you to America. Atiku is not a wanted man anywhere. He's a free man. He walks around everywhere. When you say he cannot, that's when they say somebody cannot, and I say, is he an American? He's a Nigerian. He's proudly Nigerian. So why should that be a point? I'm just telling you, somebody has said, oh, because he has done this to this woman, and I'm wondering, what are you talking about? You cannot judge a man's private life by what he represents. Those things are two things that are totally different. He's a businessman who's made his money. Some people say, oh, he stole customs money. Please, can you bring proofs? I've not come out here to tell you that Atiku is a total saint. No, but Atiku is somebody who is passionate about Nigeria. I've told you here, I said, it takes a man of God to say, I want to deepen democracy. Some other people would chicken out at the 11th hour. He always knew that he had been robbed off of the ticket, but he kept coming because he said, I must deepen democracy. Democracy must thrive. Atiku is the man that I want all of us to give an opportunity to. I know that God willing, he would be the next president of this great nation because God has heard our cries. It is time for us to have a radical change. Atiku is the face of change. Thank you very much.